Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Randomly Generated History Club Chrimbo Limbo edition.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chrimbo Limbo is a term that was very new to me as an American, but it refers to the week between Christmas and New Year's when just sort of nothing happens. And you're with your family, you're not really working, whatever. And here at the Randomly Generated History Club, we are like hibernating bears, and we've gobbled up all the facts.
It is called Christmas Taint in Georgia, I think. That's what it's called.
This is a family show, isn't it?
Is it?
Well, my family listens to it.
My family hate me. This is why I'm here recording this on the 27th of December, which is exactly this date that it is right now.
Can I just check on the bear metaphor? So you're suggesting we've pre-gobbled the facts. We're now in hibernation mode.
Yeah.
Got it. And the fact with the facts are being digested and keeping us fueled during the winter months.
We've hunkered down with our books and our scrolls and our papyri. And come spring.
Papyri is the plural of papyrus?
Yeah.
Or papaya, I'm not sure.
We've hunkered down with all of our papayas.
Yeah.
And come January 3rd, I believe, is our next episode date.
We'll have fresh salmons of knowledge. Swiped from the river.
Spurning upstream. That's not what it is. What do they do?
I think they just swim.
Swim.
They just swim, mainly, really.
Is it worth making clear to listeners the nature of this?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So bear metaphors aside, because this is such a special time of year, we are doing a special episode following on from our other special episode, the Christmas episode last week. But we just wanted to come at you not with a year that we've picked from the random generator, but just with some assorted stories and facts, and have it be a nice little interlude.
Think of this as a non-episode, and so you're not allowed to rate the podcast as a whole based on the lack of preparedness for this episode.
To be clear, this is material that we would not broadcast.
Yeah.
Under normal circumstances.
Oh, yeah. Under any circumstances.
This is unbroadcastable
I don't know.
material.
I've been rehearsing that bear metaphor for a long time.
Oh,
Well, anyway, I want to get us started with something, just a little story that I didn't manage to fit into the 1969 episode when I was talking about Apollo 11.
Yep.
And I'm trying to be more disciplined with my adherence to the random number generators. And this story actually starts in 1971. So this is the story of moon trees.
Moon trees.
Moon trees.
Yeah, this is okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So
is this from the forested part of the moon?
Yeah. The dark side of the moon, because it's so thick with foresting.
Lush.
Yeah, exactly. It's lush,
dark forest,
a carpeted greenery. Yeah.
Moonwood.
Moonwood.
So Stuart Roosa is a man.
Carry on. Obviously, I know who that is.
Was as we all know, the command module pilot on Apollo 14, which launched in 1971. And when Stuart Roosa was in space, he had as many as 2,000 seeds with him. Yeah, and he took them in orbit around the moon. And when he landed back on Earth, he sent the seeds to different offices of the U.S. Forest Service so that they could be planted.
Oh, I see.
And
to spread the poisonous space germs around
kind of as
America.
An experiment to see if space germs matter. And so about 420 of the seeds germinated, and a lot of them were planted next to the same species of tree that hadn't had their seeds flown into space as a sort of control. Spoiler alert, there is no difference.
Oh, right, okay. I thought there was going to be like some dramatic difference. One of them gave you eternal life,
if you
and the others was
the
just
bark
a tree.
of a moon tree,
Yeah.
all of your ills will be cured. No, there's no discernible difference even after decades. But the interesting thing is the planting of the moon trees was a thing that was happening in a lot in 1976, which is the American bicentennial. Yes, that's right, our 200th anniversary, which we were very proud of at the time. And then everyone at NASA kind of forgot about this project. And so many years later, in 1996, there was a woman named Joan Goebel, who was a teacher, and she and her students found a tree that had a plaque nearby identifying it as a moon tree. So she actually just emailed NASA, which is, I guess, a thing that you could do.
Yeah, trees@nasa.com. Yeah.
Yeah, trees-NASA help. And NASA, somebody from NASA wrote back and was like, I talked to everyone at NASA and none of us have any idea what this program is. But they went back through the archive and they
did find it.
Yeah, they did find it. So that kicked off this big public effort to find the rest of the trees. And there's actually still, to this day, a NASA website where you can email a man named Dave Williams at NASA and tell him if you found a tree.
That guy is so close to being fired. When the next budget cuts come to NASA, you just know, Dave Williams, I'm so sorry, buddy, but you need to sharpen up your CV.
Yeah.
Maybe you should apply to, like, I don't know, some organization that's trying to find, krill or bushes or...
No, I think Dave Williams nailed it because a lot of people emailed in, and I'm sure he only got messages about moon trees
I'm sure
and
he
not
did.
about anything else. But here is the big mystery.
Mm-hmm.
There are as many as 15 moon trees that were planted in the United Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And none of them have been found.
Not until...
What do you mean none of them have been
today?
No one knows where any of the 15 moon trees in the UK are.
What? So who? Well, they self-planted. I mean, like they're magical.
No, because it was. You remember Ant's story about Genghis Khan and the soldiers that killed the slaves that dug.
You're suggesting the British government killed gardeners.
That's what I'm suggesting.
And then the other government killed that government.
Yeah.
And it was a
I'm
cycle.
suggesting that somebody in the past planted the moon trees in the UK.
Well,
then that knowledge passed from living memory, and nobody knows where they are now.
Well, I'm actually selling pieces of the true moon tree on the Patreon. So if you want to sign up, you can get some of that actual official British moon tree heritage. Comes in a very nice presentational box. That is an envelope that I'll send it to you in.
I love that.
If you become a board member, we will send you a seed.
A moon seed.
A single moon seed.
I will send you a seed that has absolutely been around.
You have gotten so much trouble sending your seed by post in the past. We can't do this again.
This isn't the tone we aim for.
It's Christmas. Of course it is.
It's Chrimbo Limbo.
Chrimbo Limbo.
All right,
Anything
I've got some
goes.
facts.
Okay.
Oh, yay, good.
All right. Okay, so I've got a couple of... In fact, I've got a couple of animal-related ones that are pretty funny. So the first one is related to that famous Christmas animal. Related...
Hedgehog?
No, it's a porcupine.
The Christmas porcupine.
Yeah, any spiked animal is basically associated with Christmas.
The Christmas swordfish.
Yeah.
The Christmas swordfish, of course, which we... pray to on Christmas Eve
kebabs,
if you live in certain parts of the United Kingdom.
Yeah, before they invented the skewers, they used to actually use
it used to be
noses.
skewered that way. The one I'm talking about this time is the turkey. And the turkey. The fact I have for you about the turkey is this.
Okay.
Here's the fact. Turkeys were once worshipped as gods.
I'm really worried that you and I are both looking at the exact same website for fun Christmas facts that we just Googled at the last minute.
I'm not worried.
Okay, because do you want me to tell you about this fact? Because
no,
I'm looking at the same... Are you on bestlifeonline.com?
The next fact I have...
Hang on, no.
I've got one more fact. Okay, the next fact I have... do you remember an episode at some time ago when we were talking about... rabbit-related logistics?
Yes, tactical rabbits.
Tactical rabbits.
Yeah.
1649.
Well, some people won't have heard what happened with rabbits and Napoleon later on. This is not Joey Boney. This is
Steve Napoleon.
Steve Napoleon. Yeah,
this is his brother Steve Napoleon Bonaparte.
By the way, can I just take a moment and say that I have been bullied mercilessly for having a slip of the tongue.
Deservedly.
Honestly, everyone coming up to me on the street, they don't even know me. They just spit on me and say, "It's Napoleon, you dullard," obviously. I'm like, I know that now.
Okay, so the rabbit-related thing, stop complaining, you were very stupid to say that thing.
I deserve everything I get, yeah.
Okay, so it turns out that Napoleon was, after fighting some battles and spending some time chilling out with his people, men afterwards, he requested that a rabbit hunt be arranged for them. And so his chief of staff set it all up. And reportedly, and like this is where, frankly, the story is somewhat breaks down. I'm not sure how accurate this is. But reportedly, the chief of staff and his men rounded up 3,000 rabbits for the occasion.
That's a lot.
And then, when the rabbits were released from their cages as part of this hunt, the rabbits all turned around and charged straight at Napoleon.
Is that true?
Just in the spirit and in keeping with the traditions of their tactical rabbit forebears, they charged straight.
Forebears and all 3,000 rabbits? That's a lot.
Can I tell you another fact about rabbit hunting?
Yep.
I'm sorry, it doesn't involve hundreds of rabbits swarming Steve Napoleon Bonaparte. But do you know the etymology of Soho, as in London's Soho Square?
No, actually.
Yeah, it's linked to rabbit hunts that used to happen.
In fact, it is.
Is that right?
Yeah, it is right. It is right. And I want to be clear. In New York, Soho is south of Houston. So that's a separate thing.
Is that right?
Yeah, that is right. Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought it was just like, you're like Soho. What do you want to do?
No, that's in Pittsburgh.
Okay,
That's what
fine.
Soho
Yeah,
is. No, but Soho in London is, so on a fox hunt, when you head off, you cry tally ho.
Okay.
Tally ho. When you are coursing hares, when you're on a rabbit hunt, they used to shout Soho instead of tally ho. And the area that is now Soho was a rabbit hunting ground.
Wow.
And so that's why it's called Soho.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I'm quite surprised there aren't more places around the country called Soho then.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of places there's lots of Beestons and okay.
I'm surprised there aren't
Lots of
any
forts.
places called Tally-ho, because that is
Windermere's.
just objectively more funny to say.
Yeah, that's great.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I also have some facts, and I think Will and I have done the exact same thing, unlike you, Anna, who has prepared for the only episode we don't have to prepare for. You're like just doing extra homework for no reason and making us all look really bad.
Yeah, well, story
this
of
is
my
poor
life.
showing. This is poor showing from you,
love
actually,
homework.
really. So I've gone to obviously the source of all things true online, which is bestlifeonline.com. And amongst their smarter living, entertainment, relationships, travel, and style and coronavirus sections, they also have a lot of facts about Christmas as fun little cracker bits that we've heard some from Will. My favorite one that I found here is using forks used to be seen as sacrilegious.
Because a fork is like the devil's trident?
Not quite. It was first introduced in Italy in the 11th century, believe it or not, as a metal fork. Everyone before then used to just, I guess, use their hands or a knife or chopsticks, I guess.
I swear to God, if you say Catherine de Medici invented forks, I'm going to lose my mind.
Now, I'm not saying that the Medicis are behind this. However, we all know that they had this very interesting relationship with the church. And so the Medicis famously not into silversmithing, and that was they had to crush their rivals. And so they, I believe, spread this rumor. And the rumor was that it was an offense to God because they were artificial hands, and as such were considered sacrilegious.
Wow. So like God gave you perfect forks by way of your fingers.
Well, so God wants me to just jab my fingers into the food.
Yes.
And then like use my fingers as the sort of poking fork thing.
And that's exactly what I've been doing this whole holiday season.
Is that why you were doing that?
That's exactly why I was doing that. just ripping apart the Christmas turkey we had.
Yeah.
And just shredding that to pieces because you know why? I want to stick it to the Medicis.
Quite right.
Amen.
Well, actually, no, that would make me on the Medici side.
On the Medici
side. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
I feel I've given away too much of my allegiances here. That maybe I've been a plant this whole time.
I'm just saying, if God was opposed to cutlery, he would have made one of my hands a serrated edge.
Well, I hope everyone's enjoying what is always quite a strange time between Christmas and whatever's coming next. New Year's, sometimes people look forward to New Year's.
The next thing,
I always find it massively anticlimactic. But
Really?
What?
Yeah. New Year's Eve. It's always
because you're aging backwards.
I am aging backwards. I have been aging backwards for my entire life.
Yeah, you and Merlin.
Merlin.
By the way,
Benjamin
you can't bring him to the New Year's party. He is such a drag. We get it. You put a sword in a lake. You choose the king. Just stop going on about it, dude. God, come on. We've all done stuff.
We've all put swords in lakes.
Also, have you ever seen him do anything magical? He's just an old guy.
Hang on, are we talking about Will or Merlin?
I think both.
Okay. Yeah.
Just coming along giving advice, saying who should be king. There's so many parallels. I do have one more fact for you. Again, from the same amazing website, which I'm going to do all my research on.
Oh, God.
And so this fact is, you know the Iron Maiden? Not the band.
The band? Oh, okay.
No,
the torture thingy.
The torture device. You know, it is a sarcophagus with spikes in it.
Yeah.
So that when you close on the person, they get way more of their spike recommended daily allowance than they should.
Is that I actually never quite understood. Are those horrible things they like such that there's enough space for you to stand up, and it's only if you kind of like fall down that you get spiked, or are they, or do you just get spiked everywhere as soon as it closes?
No, I don't think they kill you. I think it's
just like there's a human-sized space inside that you like, and then it's just if you kind of
or maybe they're just the spikes are on you but not piercing you.
Oh
well, slow clap for you. Because you both are victims of the conspiracy that is that Iron Maidens actually existed. Because they didn't.
Oh.
Completely fake. Completely made up. There were sarcophagi, there were spikes, of course, and some people just kind of jabbed them together and said, oh, look how terrible the medieval ages were. Look what they did do. They had this crazy spiked thing that you put you in and maybe you had to stand up and you couldn't sleep, or maybe they just spiked you and killed you. No, none of this existed. All nonsense. There were some way worse stuff, though.
Yeah.
The medieval people used to do some horrendous executions and things.
There was something going back even further than that with the Romans called the Screaming Bull. Which was terrible. So it was a hollow brass
Is this very Christmassy?
It's not super Christmassy, but okay. I'll tell you what. I'll make it more fun and less kind of
cool. Let's make it Christmassy. Imagine a porcupine.
Imagine
a Christmas porcupine.
I think I can.
Imagine everything Ant's about to say, but with Jingle Bells in the background.
Yeah. Okay, so Jingle Bells is playing.
Okay, hang on. What we're going to do is I'm genuinely going to find Jingle Bells or a Christmas song
license-free
that we can afford
song.
to be license-free for, and I'm going to play it over what you're about to say.
Done. I think Silent Night will work. So I'll set the tone. There can be fire crackling in the background, let's say, maybe a haunting sound of an owl. So imagine, if you will, a brass bull that is hollow. A hollow brass bull.
All right.
And it's
hollow brass bull.
Exactly. And it's hollow, and its nostrils have holes in it, and there's a little hatch in it, and you would put inside there a Christmas treat. I'm trying to be like, not say it's a person, but it probably was a person. You put inside there, let's say a roasting turkey, and then underneath it you would put a fire and light that fire, and then the noise coming from the bull was said to sound like a bull.
And is this something that people would do as a sacrifice to the gods then?
It was just kind of this one king invented it. I had the name, but I can't remember it now. It was apparently, was it used, was it not used, etc. And he invented this thing as a sort of a torture device. And in the end, he himself was put into it. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I kind of think he had that coming.
Yeah, basically. Happy Christmas, guys.
Humans are the worst, aren't they?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, not great.
No.
That's why I side with the porcupine.
I've got a fun fact if you want to end on a lighter note.
Oh my god, please.
Or do you want to just end at facts? I can make up something.
Well, there's a risk this non-episode-isode becomes episode length. So I think we can do one more fact.
One more fun fact, please.
Okay. Andrew Jackson had a vulgar parrot.
The American general and then president Andrew Jackson.
What made the parrot vulgar?
It used to curse. So it would say words such as darn and gosh, because they hadn't invented cursing at that stage, I'm sure.
Oh, I see.
But apparently it used to curse, and it was a very, very naughty parrot. And that's my funny, hilarious, not torturous story.
Okay, that's it. End of episode. See you next week in the year 2023.
Which is not the randomly generated year.
That's not the number.
Oh, no, that's a good point.
That's very confusing.
Okay, we'll see you when the year that we will be talking to you in is 2023. The year we'll be talking to you about will be whatever we randomly selected.
Bye.
Bye.